Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Shirtless Plantain Show. It is your host, Tosin, alongside Dean. Dean, how are you doing today?
Teams I love won this week, so let's do this shit, man.
Yeah. Let's start off with Arsenal and PSG. If you guys have not been paying attention, Coach's Corner is out. Coach was at the Emirates live, so he gave you a good, bit of information of what Arsenal did and how we looked in person, and showed some actual videos from the stadium. So if you haven't seen that, it's on YouTube right now. It's on podcast. You want to listen, but please go ahead and listen to Coach talk about Arsenal. Dean, this is your floor is yours. We need to get to hear your thoughts about Arsenal. Talk to me.
Well, shit, at this point we do an Arsenal podcast, so I feel as if I have plenty of opinions about Arsenal and too many of them at this point. But I suppose the most obvious thing, and really I feel like I'm taking a point that you would really want to make, but I'm going to steal it from you, is that this was pure boys against men. Like it's like generally in the last couple of years with Arsenal, rebuilding the club and rebuilding the team and buying all these new young players. Generally, in a game that plays out like this, Arsenal would have been wearing the PSG jerseys. But it's finally flipped. So we've reached a point where Arsenal's team has matured to a point where they can face another, in quotes, European giant team and just dominate them. Even from the starting lineups, just looking at the starting lineups, looking at the teams line up next to each other before the game even started, was like, yo, these niggas is NBA niggas and these niggas is not NBA niggas. And it kind of played out that way. Like Arsenal didn't really have to get out of second gear to win this game. And the most impressive part for me as a fan that watches every week is the fact that they managed to put such an impressive performance together without Martin Odegaard. He's a very important player for the team. I don't think he's the best player. That's Bukayo Saka for me. And I would probably rank Saliba ahead of Odegaard as well. But he's very important to what Arsenal does. And Arteta on the fly has reconfigured Arsenal. He's gone with the Kai Havertz, Leo Trossard, double false nine, whatever, big man, little man, Kevin Phillips, now Quinn type thing. And it's working fantastically well. PSG really had nothing for Arsenal. The most impressive moments of the game, from my perspective, were by the fullbacks, who will be the source of the most evolution we're going to see from Arsenal this season and into the future. That would be Calafiori on the left and Timber on the right. Timber especially was very impressive in the first half. He went off at half with a bit of a muscle issue, but it's not supposed to be a long-term or a big deal or anything. He's just coming back from an ACL. But Arsenal were just really impressive. It's impressive to see a team face another elite team and not really try hard and beat them comfortably. It was just easy. What do you think of it?
I mean, same thing. Like I said earlier, in our chat, that it's boys against men. And really, Arsenal got less possession than PSG, and it didn't even feel like it. It just felt like it's a training exercise. I mean, there was a picture of Arsenal's back four with Rice. I think it was just like the four of them, and Rice was with them. And you see them, but it's just like, damn, that's men. That's grown ass men. And my last point, 4-4-2 is back. And it's back. Like, again, like we said, nothing in football is ever new. Nothing has ever changed. It's just cycles. This is why I'm telling United fans to just calm down. Like, yeah, we're bad right now, but it's cycles. United will end up being fine, and the 4-4-2 is back. And I think, personally, that's what United should be playing. But I like seeing Trossard and Havertz together. It's kind of cool to see this big man, little man shit. It's cool. Yeah, and Trossard's a small dude, by the way.
Very small dude. You got to stop sneaking United onto this podcast, man. If you niggas belonged here, you would have qualified for the Champions League. You did not, so stop talking about it.
Don't make me come up with the Arsenal stat that you don't want to hear today, but I'm going to move on. Your team, Brest, they beat Salzburg 4-0, and it was bouncing.
It was bouncing, my boy. It was bouncing. What's his name? Abdallah Sima scored a brace in this game, and a brace is exactly what you need to hold two lovely. You know what? Let me stop with that. I'm better than every other podcaster on the planet. This Brest thing has ruined podcasts, bro. Like every podcast I listened to this week talking about breasts, grown ass man making these ridiculous puns, trying to act like they're not better than me. Like you people are supposed to be better than me. I'm the terrible one here. But back to the game. Super impressive performance to go away to Salzburg. I mean, this is a team that we're talking about on the weekend review. They lost over the weekend in Ligue 1, and we thought that they were maybe suffering a delayed Champions League hangover. But they went away to a team being coached by Pep Linders, a team that's part of the Red Bull network. And I mean, because we don't know much about Brest. They were good in France last year, but they don't have much of a legacy or a history for casual fans of the sport, or even guys like us that are obsessed with it, to really know about. So for them to go away in the Champions League and destroy a team 4-0 without the aid of a red card or, some incident like that, super impressive. Looking at them as a dark horse, at least for this group stage section of the tournament. What do you
So
make of?
all I gotta say is Sim who got the keys to my bimmer.
Hey man, Abdallah got the keys to the Beamer, man. He drove that Beamer all
Absolutely.
over Salzburg. He was whipping wheelies and shit, man. It was great. I mean, they looked very impressive, especially in the second half.
He was over here looking like Dom Toretto.
Oh man, go back to the United shit, man. Don't bring this Fast and Furious nonsense here, my brother. Girona, the Catalans, they hosted Feyenoord, and they got unlucky yet again. Their third own goal in this competition. Tosin, what the fuck happened, man?
Donny van de Beek scored. When Donny van de Beek scores, God takes away. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. He finally got his goal, but he took an L at the same time. So I think it's one of those things where it's just like, you give me this, I give you that. So it's unfortunate they did play solid, but hey, these are the things. What did you make of it?
Like you said, they played solid. They looked good in the highlights I saw, and it did look as if they were going to be able to get away with the draw. But the own goal, it was just a goofy own goal, like the one they conceded against, was it PSG in the first round of games? The same kind of goal from the same angle. I don't remember who scored it. Well, if you can score an own goal, I guess you score an own goal. But it looked a lot like the one they conceded at Parc des Princes. So I suppose Michel, the coach at Girona, has something he can work on and fix.
Yeah. Shakhtar 0, Atalanta 3. Dean, what'd you make of this game?
Atalanta reminded people that they're the European champions. I mean, maybe not the big European champions, but they got the little cup, and that's not nothing. Because guess what? I would kill for that as an Arsenal fan. And speaking of Arsenal, Atalanta played Arsenal in their first game in this competition this season. And if we're being honest, they probably should have gotten the 3 points. David Raya had that crazy double save from the Retegui penalty and header. So, they just basically got back in form. They're playing against a team that, credit to them for being in the tournament, but we all know what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. This game was played in Hamburg, Germany. So it really wasn't a home game for them. And Atalanta, it was pretty easy for them from what I saw. And per usual, Ademola Lookman was incredible. That's your boy. Give him his flowers.
Golden assist. I saw the first assist or the first goal. He sent a ball in. I was like, this man is just doing whatever he wants. And then the second goal, they just are just that much better than Shakhtar. I mean, it was a great back heel. They messed it up, but like they, recovered well. And Lookman just slaughtered it in, and they scored in this, early in the second half, in the 48th minute, and it was kind of a wrap from there. There was really nothing else to do. Edison, by the way, is impressing me. So,
the Brazilian DM, the defensive. Yeah, he was good in the game against Arsenal. I give him that, but I've never really rated him. But generally, Atalanta, they scout pretty well, and that's been the case for like the last decade, at least since Gasperini's been there. So yeah. Shout out to them. Benfica, they hosted Atleti and won 4-0. Tough one from my Conor Gallagher agenda, man. He had a terrible game. Cholo is going to kick his ass in the locker room today, for sure. He was awful. He gave away the penalty, passed the ball away for the first goal. Then he made 3 errors leading to goals in this game, if I recall correctly.
1 second, sorry. I'm getting a call from Coach. He says, I told you so.
Fuck you and fuck Coach. I think this result is God punishing them for the Nazi ultra motherfuckers that they, I think that's what's going on here. I don't know if you go to church like I do, Tosin. What did you make of it?
Di Maria still got it. The kid that Man United sold, the left back, Alvaro, yeah, he's like that. He's been killing it this season with them. But overall, I mean, they have a new coach. I know they got rid of Roger Schmidt and they just hired forgot who they hired. Benfica has a new coach though, and they look good. They beat their ass and didn't get a red card at all. Just straight up, just hands to belt to ass. That's really what it was. There's no other thing to say. They just belt to ass. Leipzig 2, Juventus 3. I personally love this game, but I'll let you have the floor.
This for me was probably the game of the round, I would say. I don't know that I expected much, but the game essentially it evolved into a shootout between 2 of the best young strikers in Europe today, Dusan Vlahovic and Benjamin Šeško. Both have been heavily linked to the club that I support, and we missed out on both of them. That's okay. We'll get around to you in the future. We will be there. But golazos galore. Šeško's first goal, assisted by Openda. Crazy. Do you call that a half volley? I don't even know what you call it, but when the ball hits the bar and bounces up and down, man, the shit just looks aesthetically. Then Vlahovic was like, you know what? I got something for you. I don't even know which one of his goals I like better. I know there's one that's a traditional golazo because it was a distance goal, but the finish on the first one was just pure peak Christian Vieri type shit, just pure striker shit. Like you don't see that often. And again, another aesthetically pleasing goal. But they lost players due to injury. I think they lost Bremer. That looked like a serious injury. I hope it's not. And if it is, I hope he gets well soon. And they lost, I think it was Nico Gonzalez, perhaps.
Yeah, he came on. Constant Shaw came on for him.
Yeah, that and that was in the first 10 minutes of the game. Then they got a red card, which I missed because I was watching the Golasso Whip Around show, so I don't even know who got sent off. What happened?
It was the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper came out. He rushed and he had his hand on the ball. And he was and he was out. He's out of his box and his hand touched the ball, and that's a red card. I'm sorry.
Well, not in the Premier League because I saw Vicario get away with that shit like 2 weeks ago. That's neither here nor there.
It's not a serious league. Constant Shaw's last goal was really nice, though. The winner was really good. Yeah,
he destroyed David Raum in that one-on-one. Actually, he dribbled past two people, but Raum was one that caught the brunt of the slander there because he was the closest one. But incredible goal. Again, Juventus, it pains me how likable they are. I mean, I was thinking that this whole Vlahovic thing wasn't going to work out because of Thiago Motta and his aversion to real nines in favor of false nines. But if he's scoring goals like this, the manager will play him. That's for damn sure. But go on, my friend.
I remember Benfica's coach's name, Bruno Lage, the guy that was at Wolves.
So he was at Wolves for a little bit, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah, and then he went to Botafogo, and now he's back at Benfica. And yeah, basically, what I want to say is to go back to Bruno Lage and go back to Thiago Motta. The theme of this Champions League and the theme of football for me this season and any season, honestly, but particularly this one is coaching. Coaching really, really matters. And when players buy into what the coach is selling and the coaches actually know what they're doing, the players will die for you and the players will show it. You could see it when Benfica scored. I mean, when Juventus scored their third goal, they all mobbed Thiago Motta. They all literally almost suffocated that man. That's what happens when you have a really good coach. They love you and you love them back. So there's that. And, Juventus has some cool kits, and I hate that Juventus are likable. It really pains me to say Juventus are a likable team.
It's tough, man. I'm not feeling that shit. But in any event, let's move on from them. Congratulations to them for winning that game 3-2 away at Leipzig. Leipzig should be ashamed of themselves for letting that happen. Aston Villa hosted Bayern Munich. It's weird because Aston Villa just got back to this tournament for the first time in 41 years. And they already kind of feel like a prestige team in this tournament. Am I tripping or, I feel like they belong,
Yeah, their kits are nice. Their stadium is nice. They got some really likable players. Their tactics are fun. Ollie Watkins is going to run you down all day, and then they bring on Jhon Durán, who does whatever he wants because he's going to score. Debo had a really good save today. I know we're talking shit about Debo over the weekend, but he had a really good save today. And they contained, and I think, again, back to the point about coaching, they didn't really get out of their shell and what they wanted to do. They played how they wanted to play. They didn't change their tactics. They played how they want to play against a team that is one of the best teams in Europe. We can say that about Bayern Munich. And, I know, Arsenal fans don't like Emery, but Emery put on a good coaching class today. So fair enough.
I mean, I don't know that he did anything spectacular. I mean, like Bayern mostly dominated. I don't know that they created enough great chances. You mentioned the Debo save late in the game, but I don't know. It felt a bit like a game that Aston Villa were gonna kind of fuck around and passively lose, because at halftime, Company brought on Musiala, who he should have started with, if you ask me, but that's neither here nor there. And Bayern were making all the running. Bayern were creating the chances in this game. It wasn't the most entertaining game, I'll say that much. But ultimately, Villa did it because of Jhon Durán. Like, this boy is something else, man. Like,
yeah.
I can't say I saw all this when he was playing at Chicago Fire back in the day, but I don't know what it is, man. He's got that juju. I mean, he reminds me of, remember when Wenger was talking about how we don't have nines in the sport anymore? And that if we're going to find any nines, we need to go look in South America. He's Colombian. Arsene Wenger is almost never wrong.
Yeah. And one more thing. Someone was asking what was Manu Neuer doing? That's what he always does.
Yeah, I mean, that's who he is. That's what he does. We're not knocking Manuel Neuer. I mean, he revolutionized the position, every keeper does that now. That happens to everyone. So, if you're acting as if it's weird for a goalkeeper to get lobbed in 2024, fix up. Just fucking grow up, okay? Just tell us you don't watch football and move on. It happens. But was it hilarious? Yes, still. It was very hilarious. Especially against Neuer, because Coach actually predicted it in the group chat. It was like Duran to come on and lob Manuel Neuer, and that's exactly what happened. Like it's crazy he's not on the show today. He must have the best kufi on today or something.
Speaking of
I was going
your
to say
team,
real quick. Bayern hadn't lost in the group stage since 2017 when Unai Emery beat them when he was manager of PSG, and Unai has also beat them on 3 separate occasions now with PSG, with Villarreal, and now with Aston Villa, which is crazy. And Bayern's next game is against Barcelona, Hansi Flick's team. So there you have it.
Hey man, the people who are doing the draws, they are funny. You guys love drama.
They are cheating. The algorithm is cheating.
Mm-hmm. Inter, they beat Red Star 4-0. I know you have the Inter kits on, so please.
Oh no, I'm just wearing the it's laundry day. I ain't got nothing else to wear. I actually thought it was an Atalanta kit when I grabbed it, but it's Inter. It's cool. It's whatever. I mean, what do you expect from Inter? They're hosting Red Star. They should win. I would say the standout moment was the Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Like he's good for a banger. Was this a free kick? I can't recall. I've seen so many goals. Yeah, so you'd expect that from Hakan. He does that. He does that. And from a fan standpoint, it was really nice to see Arnautovic, Lautaro, or Laro Kutukutu, as you call him, and Mehdi Taremi, all strikers, all scoring goals in this game. So Inzaghi can't be mad at that. On we go. Liverpool hosted Bologna 2-0 at Anfield, my friend. Alexis McAllister started and finished the move that led to the first goal, and Mo Salah. I don't know, man. How many goals this motherfucker scored, Tosin?
Yes. I saw it. I saw the goal, right? I was like, oh, look at me. I'm Egyptian. I can score goals with my left foot. Cool.
I do this shit all the time. Like, I don't know. You guys have suffered more than we've suffered, but this game probably wasn't as easy as the score might suggest. Bologna were not bad. I think they'll give people trouble in this group stage for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's a good Egyptian right now?
Who that?
Omar Mamouche.
He's the best Egyptian. Our favorite Egyptian.
Yes. Zagreb 2, Monaco 2. This game was funny because Zagreb was up 2-0. And their number 10, who's basically Baby Modric, according to people, he scored a really good goal.
Martin Baturina?
Yes.
Yeah, he scored it with his weak foot too. I was very impressed. Like, like hitting the ball that hard with your weak foot is special shit, So I wonder who's gonna get him. I feel like you need to have a Croatian in your team to win stuff in Europe. So it's definitely gonna be a big team, for sure. But yeah, like Zagreb, man, I know that going up 2-0 at home, then getting pegged back to 2-2 is not the ideal way to see a game out, but they did lose the last game to Bayern 9-2. So this is a great improvement. I am proud of them. I am proud of Croatia as a nation. Like good stuff, man. Lille hosted Real Madrid for the first time in their history, and Les Dogs beat Los Merengues. I cannot believe this happened. And you're about to send me another text from Coach, aren't you?
No, I blocked this number.
Okay, good. Because I hate to admit it, but Jonathan David converted the penalty that was the difference in this game after our friend Eduardo Camavinga handled the ball in the penalty box. How much credit do you give a team for winning it? You know what? Let me not even try to hate. This is a big deal. Lille should not be beating Real Madrid, and they beat Real Madrid. Their first loss in 36 matches. So all I can do is give them props and shout out Jonathan David, who was very calm during the penalty. He had to wait for a while to take that penalty as well, which is never really fun. I feel like I've done all the talking on this one. So should we move on?
We should. Quickly, though.
Oh, carry on.
Quickly. Nigel Reo-Coker was so pissed in the Juventus game when they got a penalty. Was it Juventus game? I can't remember where it was. Somebody had a penalty and it hit the guy's arm. And Nigel Reo-Coker was just like, as a man, stand up and take the ball in your face or your chest. Stop giving away penalties. You know what new football is like. It's like, Nigel, please.
That's why they deported Nigel from England to America. Like talking all this crazy shit, man. Let these motherfuckers live, man. I beg, Jerry. Dortmund 7, Celtic 1. My guy, Kilo Shele.
Well, there's a Nigerian by the name of Karim Adeyemi, and he scored a hat trick. Garassi scored a brace, and they just kept eating. There was nothing else. There was nothing. It was just they just beat their ass.
They didn't leave nothing on the bone. They
ate the gristle too.
Real Nigerian shit right there. Real Yoruba behavior.
Yeah.
I just thought it was hilarious that Brendan Rodgers, coach of Celtic, had once managed Nuri Sahin, coach of Dortmund. I don't know what that conversation is like after the game, like, because I know a lot of these players, after they've played for a guy, they'll call him boss forever or Mister forever. So it's like, hey, Mister, good game. After you just whooped the nigga 7-1, like, bro, if I'm Brendan Rodgers, I'm fighting. Like, fuck you, nigga. Like, he's trying to get me fired. Fuck you.
Oh man, City against I don't even know, man. Slovan Bratislava.
Slovan Bratislava, Slovakia's
Yeah.
finest.
Mhm.
We don't got to spend too long on this shit, do we?
Nah.
4-0. As James McAtee scored I believe his first goal for the club. Shout out to him. He's not guilty of any of the charges, all 130 of them, but he's still part of that gang. I do like the jerseys they were wearing. Those maroon jerseys they have are pretty nice. I'll give them. Now the font of the number on the back is still shit, I think, but the jersey itself is lovely.
Yeah, Maroon 5. Maroon. Looks nice. Barcelona 5, Young Boys 0. I'm not even gonna make a joke about Young Boys because we don't do that around here. But Barcelona beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, man. No Diddy. No, we don't want to. Like, they should have traveled to Catalonia with a fucking chaperone, man, because that was ugly.
It was so ugly that I heard Barbara Sparks singing in the background.
That was a jam right there, man. That was a jam. I think we ran through all the games that we care about. I didn't think that would happen so quickly, my friend.
No, but I think to quickly wrap everything up, I had some points myself. I think the Champions League is going to take some adjusting. 100% is going to take some adjusting too. We're going to have to really understand this new group stage. It's very, very weird for me to understand, to see all these like league shapes and this and that. And we've been watching football since 1900. So I still don't understand these new things. I don't get it, but it is what it is. Coaching matters, like I said in the beginning. If your coach is good, your players will know it, and they will not, have a shitty midfield. That's another thing I learned.
Well, you know what? I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't. I mean, we've had 2 games now. There are 6 more to go in the group stage. Mm-hmm. So we officially have a league table, 36 teams. So as we leave the people, I feel like it would behoove us to read the standings. It might take forever.
Are we only 36? I know it's 36 chambers. I can't read 36 teams out.
We're not going through 36, but here we go. Dortmund are top of the table with 6 points, and behind them in second place,
bouncing along.
2 of these teams are Brestalona or Bouncelona or Brest, as we call them. And in third place, we have Benfica, followed by Leverkusen and Liverpool and Aston Villa and Juventus. And those are all the teams that are on 6 points. They've won their first 2 games. Then there's another bunch of teams, including Man City, Inter, Sparta Prague, Atalanta, Sporting, Arsenal, and Monaco, who all have 4 points. That means they're undefeated, a win, and a draw. And they're followed in 15th place by the teams that have won 1 game. Those teams include Bayern, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Lille, congratulations again, PSG, Celtic, Club Brugge, Feyenoord, and Atletico Madrid. Then we have the 1-point teams, PSV, Stuttgart, Bologna, Shakhtar Donetsk, Dinamo Zagreb. And finally, we have the 0-point motherfuckers. Motherfuckers that's going home soon, inshallah. RB Leipzig, that's a shocker. Girona, another shocker. Sturm Graz, makes sense. Milan, haha. Red Star, expected. Salzburg, I guess expected as well. I think sometimes we confuse the whole, some of the Red Bull teams with the good Red Bull team. But when you think about it, all the Red Bull teams in this league standing suck. Slovan Bratislava, and bringing up the rear, no pun intended, Young Boys. No Diddy. Whew, I am tired, bro.
or no Catholic school. But yeah, I mean, listen, the Champions League is back. I mean, what can we do? What can we do? We're going to enjoy it.
Hey, listen, man, I'm just glad that there were no Thursday games this week, because that Thursday Champions League shit, that's just wrong. That's like when I found out that Lions, you know what? Let me not get into science. Like y'all don't got the brain power to understand my nigganomics. So
before we head out, I know Dean doesn't care about this, but if you guys are really into some kinky stuff, there's Europa League and there's Conference League tomorrow. If you're into that,
indeed.
Yeah,
we apologize. I just realized that we did not prepare any of the games that will be coming up this weekend. as far as like what we think people should watch. But what I will tell you is that I will be at the Arsenal versus Southampton game. So feel free to watch it, and you might see me on TV. I'll be the handsome one.
Yeah.
That's the one I am. Just look in the stands. The handsome one, that's me. So. And as far as the quiz winners, your gifts will be going out soon. We got your notes. Thank you for sending your addresses. You will be getting your shit in due course. But as I just said, a man has to travel, so I got shit to do. So maybe I'll send you a souvenir from one of the countries I hit in Europe while I'm there. But that's me done there. Tosin?
I do have some games for people to watch this weekend.
Oh, awesome. Let them know.
So we do have Stuttgart and Hoffenheim. We have Frankfurt and Bayern Munich.
Okay.
I like that one. That's a very nice one, actually. Then over the weekend in Italy, we have Fiorentina Milan. If you're into that, it's very nice. And that's really probably the only game in Italy. With Napoli and Como on Friday. I'm into that.
Okay, well, we're watching that. I feel like that's a game where, we get to see who has the better hair transplant. Cesc or Conte? It's Conte. It's Conte.
Over the weekend, we have Brighton and Tottenham. But also, the big drum roll, please. Man United versus Aston Villa.
Oh, fuck. You niggas getting your ass kicked again.
And here's the thing. Erik ten Hag might not make it.
You know what, man? I don't even want to talk about that man's job like that, man. He deserves better than that. You're talking about a man that has won 2 trophies in 2 years.
I don't give a damn.
8 trophies in 6 years. Okay, this is a winner. You respect Erik ten Hag. Okay?
Absolutely not.
Eras end. Okay, eras end.
And errors end too. That's why he's gonna get fired. Then we also have Nice versus PSG in France. If you're into that, that's gonna be very tasty.
That's a good matchup.
Real Madrid and Villarreal. And
Nico
Sevilla.
Pepe though. Nico Pepe might give Rudiger some problems this weekend. He's been looking sparky in the last few weeks. Nico.
Yeah, we have Girona Athletic Club on Sunday. We have Sevilla, Real Betis, and the big game that we're all looking forward to, the final one I'm going to tell you guys, Real Sociedad and Atletico Madrid.
That's tasty. Money on Sociedad.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, for myself, Tosin and Deen, we're out. Please watch the football. Don't forget to look at all of our YouTube shows, all of our different episodes we have out. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with your mom, your dad, your dog, your sister, anybody. Please share. Appreciate you guys. We're out. Everyone take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Take a shot, plenty.